Welcome back to Zion's Redemption Radio Network. I'm your host, Mark Lichtenwalter. I'm recording this on December 23rd, 2025, which is Joseph Smith's birthday. So, Merry Smithmas. Not really a real thing, but whatever. Anyway, I will be posting this 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on December 24th. So anyway, today we're going to be covering part 3 of Eternal Destiny of Earth and Man, which is chapter 19 of Mysteries of Creation by Ogden Kraut. Um, so, and by the way, I'm in Sheep Creek, um, Utah. It's right on US 6, right by the Red Narrows, if you know where that's at. Anyway, and I'm going to Salt Lake City today, and I'm going to Ogden today with my 2 trailers. So, anyway, so basically, this chapter is about how the earth will be purged of all corruption and wickedness, and how it will become a great Urim and Thummim, or a fire of sand glass. I disagree with Brigham Young in his speculation that this earth will be the new earth. It will be made new in that the corruption will be removed from it, and then it will be made new in that it becomes a fire of sand glass, but it will be as the glory of the sun when that happens, and there will be a new earth that is created. Um, that will go into a celestial, or well, from a well, it'll go through a fall just like this earth did, and it'll have an Adam and an Eve and a new Redeemer and a new witness and a new Adam, a new Elohim, all of that fun stuff. So anyway, yeah. So this week it's kind of funny. I got I was in ridiculous traffic last night because there was only 2 lanes open on I-15 southbound at Bangor, or in 146 6th South. So that took me like 2.5 hours to get through. So I got back to the yard, did my paperwork pretty late, and then I went and got loaded. And I was the last person to load, and the plant went down where we load our CO2 at. So, and then I slept there because I had an airline break off on the brake can, which is weird. But anyway, yeah, so it broke, so I was able to get it back to the yard. Yay, vice clamps. I was driving down between the plant and the yard. There's like a dirt road, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But anyway, so I slept there last night instead of going on so that the mechanics could fix that this morning. And then I found out that the computer system at the office went down. So I was able to get my paperwork and get loaded. And then the plant where we load went down, and the computers at the office went down. So I was like, holy crap, I'm lucky. And the secretary was like, you broke it. I didn't break it. She was just kidding. Anyway, so yeah, I'm headed on up to Salt Lake and then Ogden, and I've got 122,600 pounds is my gross weight. So all kinds of fun today. So, but I like it. I like this. I love this job. I love all of my trucking jobs. Well, pretty much. It just depends on the people I have to deal with, but this one's fine. So, anyway, all right. Well, let's get into this. Once again, this is part 3 of the Eternal Destiny of Earth and Man, and it's pages, I think, I can't remember, 85 and 86, I think. All right. Well, I'll see you in a minute. Thank you for watching.
Part 3 of Eternal Destiny of Earth and Man, Chapter 19 of Mysteries of Creation by Ogden Kraut. Pages 185 and 186. And every corruptible thing, both of man, or of the beasts of the field, or of the fowls of the heavens, or of the fish of the sea, that dwells upon all the face of the earth, shall be consumed, and also that of element shall melt with fervent heat, and all things shall become new, that my knowledge and glory may dwell upon all the earth. Doctrine and Covenants section 101 verses 24 and 25. Regarding the cleansing and resurrection of the earth, Orson Pratt says, "Now how does the Lord make this new earth? He makes it out of the materials of the old one. This very earth on which we dwell, whose elements are to be melted and sanctified with fervent heat, in order that the saints may reign upon it, will be resurrected, the elements thereof will be brought together again, as they were in the beginning, and they will be sanctified and purified, and made holy and celestial, and become like a sea of glass." Journal of Discourses Volume 16 page 323. And this leads us to the next section. The sea of glass. This expression, the sea of glass, was explained for us by the prophet Joseph Smith. 1. What is the sea of glass spoken of by John, 4th chapter, and 6th verse of the Revelation? 2. It is the earth, in its sanctified, immortal, and eternal state. Doctrine and Covenants section 77 verse 1. Page 186. 3. And also, while at dinner, I remarked to my family and friends present, that when the earth was sanctified and became like a sea of glass, it would be one great Urim and Thummim, and the saints could look in it and see as they are seen. We learn that the place where God resides is a great Urim and Thummim, that the earth itself when sanctified and made an immortal sphere will be a Urim and Thummim to the inhabitants who dwell upon it, whereby all things pertaining to inferior kingdoms will be revealed to them, and to each of such inhabitants an individual Urim and Thummim will be given through which knowledge pertaining to kingdoms of a higher order will be revealed. Doctrinal History of the Church Volume 5 page 279. And further knowledge was included later in the Doctrine and Covenants. The place where God resides is a great Urim and Thummim. This earth, in its sanctified and immortal state, will be made like unto crystal, and will be a Urim and Thummim to the inhabitants who dwell thereon, whereby all things pertaining to an inferior kingdom, or all kingdoms of a lower order, will be manifest to those who dwell on it, and this earth will be Christ's. Doctrine and Covenants section 130 verses 8 and 9. Brigham Young also commented on this future glorified condition of the earth. If the people could fully understand this matter, speaking of baptism, they would perceive that it is perfectly reasonable and has been the law to all worlds. And this world, so benighted at present, and so lightly esteemed by infidels, as observed by Brother Clements, when it becomes celestialized, it will be like the sun, and be prepared for the habitation of the saints, and be brought back into the presence of the Father and the Son. Group of
So Orson Pratt in Journal of Discourses, Volume 16, page 323, speculates about how this new earth that is spoken of will be made out of the materials of this earth. And like I said, I don't agree with that completely, like it seems like he's saying. This earth, when it is transfigured and resurrected, it will undergo a great heat, which will melt the elements in this earth, and this earth will become a fire of sea and glass. It will become a great crystallized Urim and Thummim. Um, and it will be a celestial sphere for those who qualify to remain here. The new earth that's spoken of is not this earth. This earth will be made new, but there's another earth that will be made. This earth is going to be a celestial orb. It'll have like the glory of the sun, basically. And all those who will not be able to abide the glory of this earth in its full celestial state will have to go to another earth, which will be created for them. So, and basically what that is that at the end, in the eighth day, the yeah, I can never remember how to say it. It's basically in Hebrew, it's the last great day. That's the eighth day. Everybody's always concerned about the seventh day, but there is an eighth day, and that's when all of this happens. In that time, we will all be resurrected. Those who are the sons of perdition will be cast out. They will be cast into the lake of fire. Um, and I believe that their essence will be cast into black holes, basically. So they'll be completely destroyed and removed from the scene. But the rest of us, even all those people who did wrong things and whatever, they will become resurrected beings. Now, they will have the opportunity to put off the resurrection if they choose to. If they want to progress, and they'll understand that better than we'll understand it now, because during the millennium we're taught a whole bunch of stuff, um, a ton, you know. So, and most of us, and I believe um, for the most part, all of us will put off the resurrection. Whether we come back in mortality on another planet or not, that's a different story, and remain, because like children who died before the age of accountability, um, stillborns, miscarriages, whatever, um, and little children, they will do that so that they can stay with their family groups. Because, like I said, we all travel around in family groups, every single one of us. So, but the reason why God allows us to put off our resurrections is because He wants us to eternally progress. That's the whole doctrine of eternal lives, and lives is plural for a reason. We're damned in the state of whatever state of resurrection that we attain unto, unless we're exalted. Pure and simple. Even though I am the witness, I will only attain unto the first level of celestial glory. In order for me to not be damned in this and that state of resurrection, because I will not be exalted, and neither will you, um, I have to put off my body, become a spirit again, wait for my time in mortality on an earth, become a redeemer of that earth, and then I will die and be resurrected, which will be the last time I will ever die. And then I'll qualify to go up to the second level, and then the third level is where you become an atom. So witness, first level; redeemer, second level; atom, third level. Once you've become exalted, you become an Elohim, and then you don't have any end to your progression. So, and there's higher level than exaltation, by the way. So that's the beginning levels of uh, of being an Elohim. So anyway, this earth will become a fire of sea and glass. It will join in with the Shamaim, which is also called the heavens, and there will be a new earth for us to inhabit. A new Redeemer, a new Adam, a new Witness, a new Elohim. So, um, yeah, let's get into the next part real quick. Let me just check it out. Okay, so this is why it's so important to understand that Jehovah and Michael were also Christs, because in Doctrine and Covenants, section 130, I think it's 8 and 9, it talks about how this earth will become a great fire of sea and glass. It'll become a Urim and Thummim. It will become a great crystal. Um, and then it will become Christ's. Well, Jesus Christ still has to become an Adam. That earth that he becomes an Adam of will be his earth. That's the next earth. Michael, who is the Adam of this earth, will inherit this earth. He is the president of this earth. He is over all of us, both spiritually and physically. So it will be Christ's, but just not the Christ you're thinking of. It won't be my earth, even though I'm called Messiah as well. It'll be Adam's. So anyway, I'm in Spanish Fork now. Let's get into the next part. That part that I was just talking about is Doctrine and Covenants, section 130. Okay, in the last part, it talks about how this earth will be brought back into the presence of the Father, the Eternal Father. So we'll be going back to Kolob with this earth. So when I talked about it yesterday, how John saw that the heavens were as a scroll that were wrapped up and the stars were all falling, it's not that they're falling to the earth. That will happen. We have wormwood, it's coming. But it'll be as though the earth is going at warp speed and the stars are falling past the earth. The heavens become as a scroll because we're moving so fast towards um, towards where this earth is going to go when it becomes part of the Shamayim, when it becomes one of the heavens, or part of the other heavens, or the other earths that are celestial earths. So I'm in Spanish Fork now, and there's a lot of traffic in this little area right here by the old Kmart. It's a Target now. Anyway, but yeah, the city planner needs to figure this section out because it's ridiculous. Anyway, so but yeah, this Earth will go there, and the new Earth, the spirit of the new Earth is already there, and it'll take upon it the body of an Earth, and that'll be the Earth that is given to Jesus Christ when he becomes the Adam of that world. He's already been designated as the new Adam. So it's kind of like with me, like I was told in 1997 in my patriarchal blessing that I have been given the greatest gift that God has to bestow, the gift of eternal life. So I had been foreordained to receive that in the pre-existence. So I'm not down here for a test. And there's a lot of you who are not down here for a test either. You've been foreordained to certain things. You are they who are mighty and strong. There's a couple of you out there who are considered mighty and strong. There are those of you out there who are noble and great. You're not down here for a test per se. You're down here for the experience that you need to continue to progress in your eternal lives towards becoming um, one of the mighty and strong ones, and I'm talking about the noble and great ones, or the noble and great ones are going to progress and they will eventually be chosen to become a witness of a world, and then the witness will become the redeemer of the next earth, and the redeemer of whatever earth on the next earth will become an Adam, and then they will become an Elohim. That's eternal progression. So it's not like Oprah Winfrey where she's all like throwing keys out. Oh, you get a car and you get a car and you got. No, it's not. You get a planet and you get a planet and you get a planet. There's a lot more to it. Like to believe that you're just gonna get an Earth after one mortal probation because you had a temple recommend and you were so blessed to live in the time when you could accept the gospel, that you received the gospel because you attained unto the level where you could receive it in prior mortal probations. But every single person on this planet is in a stage of progression. They may be in huts in Africa or the Amazon. They may be businessmen in England or in France or the United States. They may be Protestants, Catholics. They might be the Pope. They might be whatever. But every single one of us, we're going through these mortal probations so that we can gain the experiences that we need to become like Heavenly Father. He went through all of this too. Michael's gone through it all. Um, Jehovah, our Elohim, has gone through it all. John, when he talks about Jesus Christ in the book of John in the last chapter, he says, he supposes that if everything that Jesus had done were to be recorded, the whole earth would not be able to have room to fill up all of the records. Part of the reason for that is because Jesus Christ has gone through it all as a male. Okay, we don't go back and forth between female and male, but in prior probations, he has been murdered. He's been betrayed, same as he was in this one. But he's also been a father. He's been a businessman. He's been a bum. He's been a homeless. He's every experience. He's lived in huts in places like Africa. He's even had black skin. And he's been Oriental. He's been, all of the things. He's gone through it all of it. Every experience that we've ever had on this earth, especially all the male experiences are always going to be because we don't go back and forth between male and female, but every experience that Mary Magdalene has gone through in her mortal probations, it'll be the same for her. Like, she's gone through all of these things, and when the veil is lifted from their minds and from ours, they will remember them all. We will remember them all at a certain point. So we're going to get to that point where we have the experience, we have obeyed the laws of God, we are blessed, and we're going to get to the point where we can qualify to become gods. We'll qualify to become Elohim, and the wife of Jehovah is an Elohim. The wife of Adam, Michael, the wife of Michael is Ashura, and she is the Hava, or the Eve of this world, and she will become an Elohim. So, and they will be one in purpose, the same way that God the Eternal Mother and God the Eternal Father are one in purpose. So, anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna get this posted. Once again, I post these every night, Sunday through Friday at 6 p.m. and I take off Saturday. This week, I'm going down to Cortez, Colorado, and coming back up to Moroni, and then I'm going to go back to Price, and then I'm going to go down to Chandler, Arizona. So I'm pulling a little bit of extra weight this week than I usually do. Like, as far as like, I'm not going to get back in time on Friday night. I'll get back on Saturday, probably, maybe even Sunday. So anyway, it is what it is, and I've got an appointment on Tuesday next week where I got to take that day off for personal reasons. If you know, you know. Anyway, but yeah, so all right, well, thank you everyone for watching, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You can follow these on YouTube at youtube.com/fundamentally Mormon. I'm also on Rumble at Fundamentally Mormon. TikTok is always the place I post first. So like today is December 23rd, and I will be posting this on December 23rd on TikTok, but it won't come out till December 24th on YouTube. So, what in the world? Driving truck is always interesting. Anyway, but yeah, I post there on TikTok, and you can find that at Red Pill Mormon. That's my channel name there. My groups on Facebook are Zion's Redemption Radio Network, and then that's a page, and then my two main groups are a Fellowship for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and LDS Last Days Prophecy and Gospel Discussions. You can also find LDS Gospel Mysteries. That's another group. Let me think. Or you can just follow me on um, Facebook by finding me, Mark Blickton Walter. You can also message me if you follow me, or not follow me, but like become my friend. Followers don't see everything that I post because I post to close friends more often than I post it publicly. So, but if you do become my friend, you can message me and I'll try to get back to you. And you can even, if you want, video message me or video call me on um, Facebook. If you have questions, you want to talk about things, whatever. Um, I will not be sending anyone money. So I get a lot of that, like people from Africa and people from India and whatever. And I'm like first of all, oh my gosh, I can't even afford Christmas this year. Not that we do Christmas, we do a three wise men thing, and we also do another thing called Hanukkah, and we my wife really enjoys that, and she tries to keep all the holy days, even though I'm not there so much of the time. But that's just part of me being hidden, so kind of sucks. Actually, this whole thing does suck. Um, you know, like I've been doing this for years, pretty worn out, pretty burnt out. I keep pushing along, but yeah, I don't know why anybody would want this position. Like, I don't mind teaching people. I don't mind sharing my witness, but I get a ton of pushback and a lot of pushback, and it gets pretty old, you know. So um, I wish that I could just not do any of this at all, you know. Like, I just don't want to. I just want to live my life and be left alone. But I'm going to be obedient to what God has asked me to, even though um, it doesn't come with a lot of benefits in mortality. Not a lot at all. And it kind of sucks being hidden all the time and having to do the things I do. Um, that's not the life that I wanted, but it's the life that I have. So, um, and like I always say, it is what it is. So, right after this, every night, Monday through Thursday, I'll be live chatting with Zion Media. That's one of my favorite channels. I love their music. Go check out Media Music or Zion Music, I think. I got a playlist. I've got a playlist on my YouTube channel that has a ton of their songs, and I put that on, and I can listen to it all day long. I love it. I recently saw a stat um, where I can't remember the insane amount of times that I've listened to the songs on Zion Media, but it was like ridiculous. I think they said that I was in the top 0.001% of listeners for that channel, which is kind of funny because then I get pushback from Shane about how I'm not whatever, and he's got this whole big old idea about how Jesus has an only begotten, which there's only one only begotten for each earth, Shane. I will become the only begotten of Jesus Christ on the next earth. So, anyway, whatever. Like, the way I figure it, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Whatever you do is between you and God. And in fact, that's the way it should be. I'm a messenger. I teach. You take it to the Father. You become a prophet. You are led by Him. So, all right, well, I'm going to get off my little soapbox now and get on down the road. I'm actually, I think I'm in Provo or Orem. Oh, University Parkway is coming up, and that is the Orem exit. So or 5 miles. I think Center Street is next. Anyway, 42 miles south of Salt Lake. Heading along doing 66 miles an hour with 122,600 pounds gross, and it's going to be a good day. All right, well, I'll talk to you later, everyone. Thank you for watching. Take care. God bless, and shalom.